It's the diary of a tired black man. It's the diary of a tired black.
All right, so let me help you out. So all the brothers that you see today, these other Israelite groups that you speak of, their leaders all came from the ISUPK.
That's right.
So once they left the ISUPK, what did they do? They set up splinter groups, and then everything you see today is splinter groups, where what they were supposed to do is fall under the banner of the ISUPK, because all their teachings that you see today, the ones that they did hold on to, them find about the 12 tribe charts, the prophecies, all of that they got from the ISUPK.
That's right.
And then they left the ISUPK and ran with the bit of knowledge that they got and set up their own Israelite groups. And that's where all of them come from today. Because the ISUPK started in 1969. So any of them groups that you see, you can ask them who's their leader, and I guarantee you their leader comes back to someone that was in the ISUPK.
Okay, I appreciate you breaking that down. And as you said, when we do look at the history of the Black Hebrew Israelite movement, it does always bring us to the ISUPK. And you guys are obviously an extension of that within the UK. How do you feel about, in some cases, freedom? We know freedom of speech and obviously religious freedom, but in some places they try and label you guys as a hate group. What do you think about that?
So if I could, so let me tell you something about the thing about being black. When you're black, nothing is there. See, freedom of speech, applies when you're not black. If you want to be a black Muslim, a black Christian, a black atheist, or if you want to be an LGTB, whatever the case may be, you got the freedom of speech to speak. But when you say, hold on, I'm a black Jew, the Jews are black, Christ was black, all of a sudden now what you're saying is hate speech. All of a sudden, it's not freedom of religion. It's not freedom of speech. It's freedom of speech for a man to say he thinks he's a woman. It's freedom of speech for a man to say he feels like he's a man trapped in a woman's body. But when a black man says, hold on, I don't want to, imagine this, Fonzie. Is that Fonzie Dutron? A black man can pick up a microphone and say, I want to rap about selling weed. I want to rap about killing black people. And no one got a problem to say. In fact, they'll give him a record deal, man. Or let a black man say, you know what? Your Jews are black. Like what Kanye West. And guess what? They'll lock you off, man. They'll shut you down, man. And that's the problem with freedom of speech. Freedom of speech ain't really freedom of speech, man. So you got freedom of speech until you talk about a black man liberating himself. Then all of a sudden, that freedom of speech crosses over into hate speech, man. You know, Kanye West is what Kanye West said the Jews are black, man. Kanye West didn't gun nobody else. He didn't insult nobody else. All he said was Jews are black too. And they shut him down, put him in the bank account. We go for the ISUPK. But we're going to fight no matter what, man. We're going to keep saying the Jews are black until they're going to have to kill us. So I don't know about they're going to have to kill us, man. We're going to keep speaking. Sorry,
and if I could, you said that people call us a hate group. I'm glad you said that. So now, this is how you have to look at it. In life, how things work is there's a hero and a villain. So one man's hero is somebody else's villain. And because this world hates black people, you automatically become a villain when you go against white supremacy. So that's why they call us a hate group. Also, what you'll find is, let me give you an example. When they call us a hate group and rebels and so forth, when you look at slavery, for example, the slaves that didn't want to be slaves, that was running into the mountains, the oppressor also called them rebels. Why did he call them rebels? Because they didn't want to be slaves. So they use certain trigger words, and people only hear those words. So they will use words like, they're a hate group, they're rebels. So they use certain words, and people hear those words, and then people think, oh, wow, there must be a hate group. So now, to everybody that says we're a hate group, we need to see one person that we've killed, one person that we've harmed, one person that we've robbed. Until they can show us those things, they can only just say these things. Now they need to show us doing these things, whereas they say a lot, but then they need to look at our actions and speak by that. What do? We feed black people.
That's right.
That don't sound like a hate group to me. We get black men and black women off drugs and tell black men and women to stay together in their relationships and love your children and raise your children. That don't sound like a hate group to me. The only person who would call that is a hate group is somebody who hates God, man. That's right. Because what we abide by is the laws of God. And anyone that calls us a hate group is because they hate God. And that's all it really comes down to. So, okay, for you.
It's the diary of a tired black man. Hey, it's the diary of a tired